Hello everybody, welcome to Xucaboa 100% Vanilla Baby, where I'm trying to build the most organic vanilla city you've ever seen in your entire life. Let's load up our last save, and as always I'd like to say thank you, gracias, obrigado, and merci to Ardavan PB, Jane Moore, Pedro Booster M13, Alo, Capitalissima Canarias, Sonix Varvit, X-Ray TD Gaming, 1 Jason Bradley, Cordell McClary, Richard Marshall, Warren Henderson, Dean Webb, Andrew Kosmowski, Kuya Kevin, Paul Longo and Flox, Richie71, Complex, JHH, Laylo Landa Gameplay, and Don Smith. On the honor roll today we have Larry Skylines and Gaming Bren. We left off doing a quick scientific study of the charismatic megafauna in the Felipe G National Forest, observing the behavior of the bison and cougars there. The results were fascinating and informative, so if you haven't seen it, check out the last video. Now we're going to do some work in this section at the end of the inlet that hasn't yet been fully utilized. The very first thing I'd like to add is a large asset, probably right about here. Instead of filling this entire area with jungle, I think we can at least get one big building in this spot right here, and I think we'll have to make a connection to the highway first and then do some landscaping to accommodate the slope. We'll make our ramps here, and ay caramba! Looks like I've got to clean off some of the rust from my landscaping skills. It's been a few months, bear with me just a second. I will say though that I'm really happy to be back in my city. It's been an extremely fun hobby that keeps me busy in my off time, and I really enjoy being here. So there we go, I think this will do. And we'll make this one industrial road connection. I don't know, that looks a little bumpy to me. Let's redo it. I'm close, I'm almost there. I used to know what I was doing. I used to be really good at this. There we go. I think that's acceptable. I won't spend too much time messing around with getting that exactly perfect just yet. We'll do that a little bit later. So now we'll make a road here for the post-sorting facility, which is a pretty large asset that generates lots of postal trucks. And I think it will be okay near our vanilla slum. Now, the reason I'm building this is from a special request from Andrew Kosmowski. He told me that his parents and uncles worked at a post office and that he'd like a post office as well. So I say we give him the whole post headquarters here. Alright, I did make a small typo when I was playing, so I'll correct that next episode. I forgot the W in your name. Don't worry, Andrew, it's gonna come. But I think this will look really good here. And now, because we have this empty area, I don't think we can build too much more here. We'll fill it in with some jungle in our tropical Roslyn Peninsula map. My favorite vanilla map by far. Although Airports DLC is dropping soon, so we'll see if that comes with some new maps maybe? I don't know. Side note is that I am just about to launch my modded historical city in a customized Roslyn Peninsula map. It'll be called Xucaboa, or OXG for short, and it's going to show the evolution of a city over thousands of years. I'm really very excited for it, and it's not vanilla, but it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it goes. I hope you check it out, even if you're playing on console or a vanilla purist. I'm really going to try to do something fun. Now let's add another larger asset, something industrial but not industrial. You know what I mean? I think the bus depot will work, fits in well, and let's name it the Don S Bus Depot. Kind of makes sense between the arena and the slum and the tracks and the highway. And we'll add some trees, some vegetation around it, maybe not a purely dense jungle right there. I think that looks pretty good. And you know what, let's get over here too. Okay, we lost our power connection to the Cidadopolis radio mast, so let's improve our existing transmission lines. We should clear the bushes out of the way before laying down the new transmission lines. I think I've always seen real-life power lines have the land around them completely cleared out. So as we drag this new line, we'll make sure to get rid of any bushes and trees that are in the way. You hear Xuca meowing in the background. Ay caramba. Here we go, just connecting our transmission lines all the way across. And I think we'll add some of this pale green vegetation underneath, because we know nobody's mowing the grass, right? It's just that the big plants and trees are gone, but underneath there's still going to be like weeds and shrubs and little things like that. So we'll put that underneath and then fill in the rest of what we cleared out. And now it's time for Inspiration Station. Welcome to Inspiration Station, also known as Google Earth. This episode will visit Lisboa, Portugal, home of Xuca the cat. And we'll look around for something inspiring. Here we've got the Sagres, a beautiful three-masted sailing ship in the dry dock, but I don't think we'll do anything with that. Here's the April 25th bridge and the Cajis Tram Depot. Sure reminds me a lot of the fish market district in our city that we're building right now, but we've already done that. So what about these fields right at the Instituto de Agronomia? Reminds me a little too much of Farmington though, so no. Let's zoom down to street level here and take a closer look. Ay caramba! It's a flamingo head. Graffiti decal thing. I saw this when I was walking down the street the other day. Here's a photo, confirmed. And it got me thinking. The undeveloped land that wraps around our inlet and canal looks like a flamingo head. I know I've got this thing where I see animal shapes everywhere, but come on, give me this one. It's a flamingo. So we'll start setting up a park where people can go and see flamingos. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's call it Flamingo Beak Park, because we're kind of going to set up the flamingos up on the beak. Let's add a park entrance over on this side. I really like this city park main gate the best. It's classy, just like every one of my subscribers. Now we'll create a pedestrian bridge that crosses over the canal, and we gotta choose the best design. Let's see. I think these are the safest railings to keep people from falling into the water. We'll do some landscaping prep and bush removal. And then we'll make some space for our flamingo sanctuary. This is a pretty cool asset. It's in the Zoo tab from Park Life DLC. It's got a little pond with viewing decks to see the flamingos. Pretty nice. Now let's start connecting our walkways over towards the Balcón district, and we'll go along the inlet's shore inside the metro track. Have to be careful of clipping sometimes, getting so close with the two networks. think these railings look really good next to the Metro Bridge because they have the same color scheme happening. And there, now we have pedestrian access all the way across from Balcon to Ile Cachalot. And since it's a park, hopefully people will make use of it. But in order to make it a bit more enticing for visitors, let's add some awesome stuff. I think this bouldering site from the nature parks looks great next to the big rocks here. Before I get ahead of myself, let's name stuff. This is the Pedro Booster M13 Flamingo Park, and this will be the Capitales Imaginarias Rock Climb. Because bouldering sounds kind of weird. But let's throw in some more boulders too, just to add to the overall rockiness of the whole spot here. And since we have such a beautiful scene going on, let's put in this scenic overlook. A nice viewing platform. Connect a little path here so people can get to it. And we'll call this the Dean Webb Overlook. Gotta have a gazebo here so people can have a bit of shelter if it rains. And we'll call this the Paul L. Gazebo. Next, let's put down a souvenir shop from the zoo. Richie 71 Souvenirs. Grab a toy flamingo while you're there. And it's always a nice touch to have a cafe right near the water, so you can grab a bite while you're away from the city. And we'll call this the Alo's Messina Cafe, because Alo told me they're from Messina, Sicily, where I had done one of my If City Skylines Were Made in Real Life videos. You can hear the flamingos hawking in the area. Let's put another gazebo. For good measure, we'll call this the Richard M. Gazebo. Let's try to jump the power across the metro track with an earthquake sensor. Almost there. Let's put it on the other side. There we go. Perfect. How about a park pier right over by the flamingos? We'll call this the Phlox Flamingo Dock. Flamingo Dock sounds better than just Phlox Dock. And over on this side of the park, we can add an info booth. For when people enter into the park, they can get some information. We'll call this the Sonics Varvit Info Booth. I love gazebos, so let's put another down here. The one Jason Bradley gazebo, sitting in a nice little field by the water. Now it's time to take care of this large piece of open land. Get rid of those power lines. And I think a content creator asset, the TV station, will look splendid over here by the water power station we made in the season finale a couple months ago. And this will be named for our first honor roll member, Larry Skylines. We'll make this the CS1 News Station. Because on Larry's channel, his regular news updates are awesome, and he featured Xucaboa in the Small Channel Spotlight.
Xucaboa has this 100% vanilla city he's been building. But first of all, the intro to this video is just absolutely incredible. Let's watch a little bit.
Someone told me that Larry had featured me, and I was thinking, who the hell is Larry? So I checked it out, and I was just really impressed by his CS News. It's a lot of fun. So be sure, after you watch this, maybe pop over to his channel and see what he's up to, making little CS News clips.
And one of the first things he did in his video was a pretty incredible use of vanilla assets to create his own hydroelectric power station.
Connect all the pipes. And since he featured this hydroelectric power station, let's put his TV station right next to it. You know what? It's crazy to see how empty the map was just one episode ago in this area and how far we've come already. So there you go, Larry. Thank you for featuring Xucaboa, and I hope you like your TV station. Our second honor roll member is Gaming Bren, who checked my YouTube channel list and noticed that I messed up Ricky King's channel, which I promptly fixed. If you didn't know, every Xucaboa citizen that has a channel will be listed in the Citizen Subscriber Channels list on my main YouTube page. This way you can find each other with ease and explore new creative content. It's just a small thing I like to do to spread the love. So, Gaming Bren, you will get a really cool content creator asset that I think is one of the most realistic looking buildings in the whole game, the Medical Laboratory. And we'll put it right over here on Albert Green Avenue. Now, as we develop further in that direction, I think this building is really going to stand out, even though it's not the tallest building that you're going to see in the city. Gaming Brent also has a City Skylines channel, so be sure to check it out. And now a quick advertisement I made for the Vanilla Group. Alright, I think we need to make a new neighborhood. Here's a big piece of open land. Residential demand is high, and we need to work on that. We'll start by flattening this out just a bit and making an irregular grid. Not too curvy, but not too straight either. Throw down these avenues to get a nice crosswalk right there by the pedestrian bridge, and we'll add some pedestrian walkways throughout the neighborhood. This will facilitate ease of movement for people just trying to walk around. No need to drive a car here. Now let's draw a district here. Getting over there too, and we'll call this Green Hook. Little nod to Red Hook in Brooklyn, New York. But I'm calling it green because it's going to have self-sustaining buildings, and they're going to have a lot of green vegetation growing on them. Now before we zone, let's add our service buildings. We'll start with a high school. The Artavan PB High School. Looks good there. Then an elementary school, of course. The X-Ray TD Gaming Elementary. Next, why don't we add a basketball court? Let's put it over here to raise up that terrain a little bit, and we'll call this the Cordell McSee B-Ball Court. the high school volleyball team will play right here at the JHH volleyball court. Let's have a nice dog park here. Right in the middle. Call it the Warren H. Dog Park. All the dogs can play there. And here, we'll put a marina, the Jane M. Marina. That's really just because I want some more boats around. Can never have too many boats. We can plop another cafe with a restroom next to the news station, and we'll call it the Complex Cafe. Can't hurt to have more fire service, so we'll call this the Leilolanda Gameplay Firehouse, and that can go right here. Lastly, we'll throw in a sauna for Kuya Kevin, because who doesn't like a nice hammam? Now, the way we're going to zone this is to do only one cell size tiles of high density residential. Alright, 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3. I'm not sure if we have any 1 by 4s in there, I forget, but no wider than 1 cell. And they'll spawn either a 1 cell size or a 2 cell size building that will grow a bit taller and greener each time it levels up. The buildings come in earth tone colors, and they also regularly spawn trees in the backyard. So I'm not going to overthink the process, but I want the buildings to generally be the tallest around kind of the center of this neighborhood, and that no buildings are exactly the same right next to each other, especially as they get taller. If we do that, I think it's going to come out looking really cool, quite staggered and unique, but really just using a handful of different assets. Not too much variety, but it's going to look really varied. And that's the look I'm going for here. We'll just keep an eye on everything and mark them historical as they level up how we like them. While we wait, might as well throw down some trees. I love my trees, as you all probably know by now, so we'll put some in between these buildings and just keep marking them historical when we like them. I tried not to move the camera too much during this. Now, I had put this park side gate here, and we're going to connect Green Hook over to our Flamingo Beak Park walkway. And to do that, we'll put in a pedestrian bridge that goes over the metro track. Let me see if I can get that a little bit lower down. I've got the smallest elevation step on. It's still a bit of a bump above the pillar, but I think it's acceptable. You know, it doesn't have to be good, it has to be good enough, and I think that's good enough. Let's do a little bit of basic detailing over here in our park field. Some trees, a little bit of a fence, and maybe let's connect that key to the walkway, because people can walk on these keys. Alright, let's pop over and activate our park policies real quick while I'm thinking about it. There we go. And now looking at it, it seems like everyone is going to bypass the park gate and use the key instead. I don't want that. Let's get rid of it. We'll just continue planting some trees and vegetation. I think putting vegetation around the waterline is critical to getting a more realistic tropical look, right? This is a tropical map. We want it to be very lush, very tropical and green and all that good stuff. And now let's take a look in the YouTube box. In this episode's YouTube box, we have the Ladies in the City multiplayer co-op game, done by Sunken Ship, Joy Build Cities, and Grottles. This series has just recently started, and they're building their city in none other than Roslyn Peninsula. You can find episodes of the series on each of their channels as they take turns building a city with the feminine touch.
Hey guys, welcome back to City Skylines. I am Sunken Ship, and today we are starting a brand new series.
Welcome to a new map, a brand new city. Welcome to my first round of Ladies in the City.
Hi everyone, I'm Grottles, and welcome to my very first episode of Ladies in the City.
Really excited to see this city project get underway. There's nothing quite like a great cooperative city build, and these are three extremely talented builders. Now we're going to get back to planting bushes here. Something I started in the season finale a couple months ago was planting these large palm bushes on the oil terrain, and I thought it looked really good. It's a bit different from our other flora biomes too, so it adds a little bit of diversity to our plant life around the map. And let's slow down a second here. This is critical. We have to put in a little light right here at the corner because unfortunately vanilla PC props don't include the lighthouse, and I want this to have some kind of aid to navigation here for boats that are going to be using the channel at night. But you know what? That reminds me, where is the night? Ay caramba, I have forgotten to reactivate the day-night cycle that I turned off before, so let's pop that on real quick. And now we can do a little bit more work while we wait for one of those gorgeous Roslyn sunsets and see our city light up. Look at that. Magnificent. Just sit back and enjoy this eye candy for a hot second. I love it. It's great. And now that it's daytime again, we can just finish the tiny bit of detailing we want to get done before we wrap up the episode. Some trees in a few of those empty spots maybe. Do a quick save. Let's not forget the schools. Throw in some benches and picnic tables, and some trees, some walkways, add some fencing for the kids' safety and some things to play with, and I think that just about covers it, really. Alright everybody, I'm feeling pretty great about the progress made this episode. We did a lot of work, named a lot of buildings. No lie, I'm really very happy to be playing and building again after a few months away. I love this game. Thanks for stopping by to check out the city. I really do appreciate the awesome community we have here with the people who watch each episode. Keep an eye out for Xucaboa, which is a modded historical build I'll be doing simultaneously with Xucaboa 100% Vanilla Baby. And I will see you next time.